Yep, here we are. Special episode. Why'd you do this? Why'd you bring us here? What's your problem? Got a new haircut? I don't know what we're gonna be writing yet. Maybe we'll do a little shorty. Maybe we'll do a little shorty boy today, huh? But I ordered 2 new books off of World of Books UK. Because as we all know, I'm in the UK. So we're going to do an unboxing episode and see what I bought. See what's on the menu for the next couple of years. Oh yeah. I'm pumped on this one. So I recently saw the film Ghost Dog by Jim Jarmusch, starring Forrest Whitaker, and it was good. He's reading this book in the movie. And it's a lot of little guys. A bunch of little things. It's called Hagakure, the Book of the Samurai, by Yamamoto Tsunetomo, translated by William Scott Wilson. What is that symbol? Does that mean radioactive? Honey! Hold on. Hey! Falling over the wrong way, aren't you? Oh, it's okay. You okay? Oh, it's such a hard dog. Such a hard life for a cute dog. It's a fun unboxing. Yeah, we might do something like this. We might read the intro. I like the quotes in the movie. If you haven't seen that movie, go see it. And this is going to be on the menu quite a while later, I believe. The Popol, We'll get into that later. It's the sacred book of the ancient Quiche Maya. I know very little about this. I know very little about the Aztecans. Pretty excited about this one, actually. It came with something! Someone put something from the Sunday Express from August 15th, 2004. Oh, baby. What in the fucking shit? Ugh! What do things mean? This was in the first page of the Popol Vuh, the sacred book of the ancient Quiche Mayans. There is a picture of a crop circle. Wow. From another world, Cropples claim that this spectacular design with its Egyptian wing motif is a sign from the gods that the world is doomed to come to an end in 2012. I think that happened. It might have happened. Right now we're sitting at the cock end of 2023. And the tip is fruitless. On the back, let's look at what's going on. A treason trial would clear up any confused loyalties. God, 2004, man. Remember what was going on then? I don't. Let traitors face justice. Something about some Nahif. I don't know what that is. I think it's really all about what's going on here. Let's cut to this. Okay. Should we just start reading this book then? The Popol. It has a short foreword and a preface. I thought it's an ancient evening's night. I don't want to read it. Not yet. I'm just not in the mood. I've had a long fucking day. It's like 10 o'clock. So we're going to add this to the list of things I read. Little things. The books I'm currently reading are The Secret History of the World, which just pisses me off. Ancient Evenings by Norman Mailer. I'm reading that as well. It's a lot of fun. I fucking absolutely love it. I am also reading the Holy Bible, which is also not my favorite book. And we have the dictionary and the DSM-5 over here. Those are things that are constantly happening. Books that I'm not... Books that I'm involved in with my... Just go ahead and read a bunch of shit. I think I've titled it, Alex Reads a Bunch of Little Things. I'm reading several things. I'm reading Delicious Laughter by Rumi. Bye. Oh, hey, that worked out pretty well. This book, which is she's becoming my favorite poem boy. M. Scott Momaday. Scott Momaday. Oof, just fucking love this guy. I'm reading Delicious Laughter by Rumi, which is a lot of fun, but I don't really agree with a lot of it. I'm reading You Better Be Lightning by Andrea Gibson, which I knew was going to be beautiful. I'm trying to pop in and out of Aha Gotcha paradoxes. I don't know how I feel about it, though. Not reading any of those for the moment. I'm not reading this. Every once in a while we'll get some bird stuff going on. We'll leave that out. Franz Kafka, that's also in my little things. Shorter stories. I don't know if I should add any Charles Bukowski, Tales of Ordinary Madness. Let's go ahead and say no. I think those are longer stories. Let's get Burning in Fire, or Drowning in Fire, Burning in Water. That's probably more like it. And to add to the list of things that we will be reading, I was thinking about reading Billy Budd, but that's just not happening. Not yet. I'm going to add Hagakure to the list of things I read short parts of. Full Body Burden, we're going to put that away. I can't dig on that right now. That's more like a read myself situation. All right, we've gone 8 minutes. Why are you still here? Hi, baby. Well, we're going to read the... Oh, cool. Thanks, World of Books from... Oh, fuck you, bro. It's okay. Immediately. Very good condition. Well, let's just see how far we get. We're going to start out reading the Popol. I was going to save this for after the Bible. But then I found a crop circle image inside of it. Said we should have died 11 years ago. I kind of agree. So let's just go with it. Oh, come on. I just stole this. Hi, honey. What's up? If you're just joining us, that was a bad idea. I read books. I'm trying to get to book Ulysses by What's-His-Face. But I got a few things I need to read first. I'm trying to understand the Bible. In order to understand the Bible, I had to read Ancient Evenings by Norman Mailer to see how the Egyptians were really feeling. And also in order to read the Bible, because in the New Testament, there's some characters that Ulysses refers to. So I'm trying to read things in order to read Ulysses. So I have other things up here. I have Dubliners by James Joyce. I have The Discovery of Heaven, which has nothing to do with it, but it's right there. I have, so I started this with the Odyssey, because I think that it's based on that, the book Ulysses by James Joyce. But I started reading it, and I was like, what's up with this shit? And then I was like, it's a sequel, or a prequel or something. So I had to get this other book, the Iliad. All of this is in service to Mr. Joyce, Dr. Joyce. So, what are we reading? Foreword? The preface. Foreword. Okay, if you guys are just joining us, I would fast forward through the first 11 minutes. Absolutely worthless. Let's keep going. The Popol Vol. Okay, no, there was a quote to begin with. To the memory of Sylvanus Griswold Morley, who with the untiring enthusiasm took part in the preparation and publication of an English version of the sacred book of the Quiche Maya. This edition of the Popol Vol is gratefully dedicated. And I was so sick of the Bible, I got to read something that's more fun. Let's read religious texts that are cooler than the Bible. All right, the foreword. The Popol Vol, or sacred book of the ancient Quiche Maya, I don't know what Quiche means, as it has been happily subtitled, is, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the most distinguished example of Native American literature that has survived the passing centuries. Awesome! Feel good about that. The original redaction of this most precious fragment of ancient American learning is now lost. The original redaction? I thought redact was to take something back. The original redaction of this most precious fragment of ancient American learning is now lost. Also, if you just joined us, I'm not good at reading. Hey, I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it. Because I can't. Okay, we're good. This is a bad episode. One of the worst. They're all pretty... All the others are real good. The original redaction of this most precious fragment of ancient American learning is now lost. I don't understand that. Should I look up redaction in the dictionary? If you're just joining us, one thing we do a lot here is look things up in the dictionary. Because we're kind of stupid over here. Not me, my editors. I'm the editor. Redaction. LMNOPQR. Shapeless. Roundworm. Red salmon. That's what they call sockeye salmon. I read in the dictionary. Red breast, red algae, redact. To put into suitable literary form. Number 2, to frame. I thought to redact something was to remove a piece of, like, a quote from literature. Like, if I said something to a news person when I was all, like, drunk and I was all like, I hid the bodies in my backyard, I would redact that because I don't want people knowing that, Redacted. Okay, whatever. So the original version is now lost. However, it seems first to have been introduced to writing in characters of the Latin script in the middle of the 16th century. From oral traditions, then current among the Quiche, I don't know what that is, by some unknown but highly educated, not to say literary, member of that race. Oh, so in their original language, it does not exist, but it was at one point translated from somebody orally, transmitted orally from some unknown but highly educated member of that race. I don't know why it says not to say literary. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get started. Now this lost version was again copied in the Quiche language. Again, this now lost original was again copied in the Quiche language, again with characters of the Latin script, at the end of the 17th century, by Father Francisco Jimenez, or Ximenez, Ximenez, then parish priest of the village of Santo Tomas Chichicastenango. Santo Tomas Chichicastenango, in the highlands of Guatemala, directly from the original 16th century manuscript, which he had borrowed for the purpose from one of his Indian parishioners. Cool. Original 16th, that's a weird phrasing, because the original one is gone. I don't understand. It says it's now lost, but however, it seems to have been reduced to writing, so it seems like it's there from oral traditions. And then, thank goodness for the guy who translated it again. I'm a little confused. Whatever, that's fine. So he borrowed it to translate it from the Latin script that they translated in the 16th century. Oh, translated back into Quiche language, whatever that means. In the highlands of Guatemala, directly from the original 16th century manuscript, which he had borrowed for the purpose from one of his Indian parishioners. Cool. The Popol Vuh. Sorry, guys. Redacted. I'm going to misuse that word a lot. The Popol Vuh is indeed the sacred book of the Quiche Indians, a branch of ancient Maya race, and contains an account of the cosmogony. Okay, let's get that dictionary out again. A branch of the ancient Maya race, and contains account of the cosmogony. Monogamy. I think this is going to be some. What a beautiful word. Cosmogony. COSMO. Deterrent. Coupon. Corner. Cot. Corridor. Come on, motherfucker. We're so close. Cosmogony. Cool. Ooh, all right. This is a fun word. Shut the fuck up. Listen. Cosmogony. It's a noun. A theory or story of the origin and development of the universe, a solar system, etc. It's a creation myth. It's beautiful. And contains an account of this cosmogony, mythology, traditions, and history of this Native American people, who are the most powerful nation in Guatemala highlands. Have you ever been there? It's fucking cool. I haven't been many places, but I've been to Guatemala. And fucking shit, dude. In pre-conquest times. I don't know what the conquest is. I'm also very dumb. It is written in an exalted and elegant style, and is an epic of the most distinguished literary quality. Fuck yeah, man. I need some good book. I need some positive shit. I need some weird stuff. The stuff I've been reading has not been good. Indeed, the chance preservation of this manuscript only serves to emphasize the magnitude of the loss which the world has suffered in the almost total destruction of Aboriginal American literature. Fuck, I bet that's true, huh? Gross. We're trying to get away from the Bible. I'm gonna rip this book into pieces. It sucks. It's already coming apart. That was the foreword. Should I go on with the preface? I'm quite excited about this, actually, so we're just going to continue, I guess. Foreword. And oh god. Oh no. Oh good. Can't mix up the permanent. Wait, did I write with the permanent? Okay, that's there forever. But this one's gone. But it's neat. Okay, whatever. Shh. And preface. Now the shitty marker's the good one. Can you read that? Good. Let's get you right here. Is that better? Do I look handsome? Now, let's get started. I'm gonna get a drink. Every day, I've decided to become an alcoholic. I'm gonna be drinking Pine Sol. Because I used to have an issue with alcohol. Still do. So it's just Pine Sol from here on out. Preface. Of all American peoples, the Quiches of Guatemala have left us the richest mythological legacy. Their description of the creation as given in the Popol Vuh, which may be called the National Book of the Quiches, is in its rude, strange elegance. Rude has a bunch of different definitions. This means kind of like primitive, struck, but good. Not primitive in a negative connotation, but like simple, and not in a negative connotation. But like, I'm not going to look it back up. I really had a fun time reading that definition. In its rude, strange eloquence and poetic originality, one of the rarest relics of Aboriginal thought. That was written by Hubert Howe Bancroft. Obviously, very in with the natives. I have nothing against Hugh, but when the only writings you can find are by white dudes, and I don't know if Hubert's a white guy. It's just weird, isn't it? Piney. That's from The Native Races 3, page 42. Here we go. That was just a quote. We're going to get into it. The National Book of the Quiche, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's spelled quiche. Quiche, but it has a little thing on the E. Maybe it's called an Enye? No, that's a squiggler. It's got like the thing, like the sproing, like the thing that's like, well, it's like kisha. You know what I mean? I don't know what you call it. I think sproing is a pretty good word. Kind of makes you kisha. It's like jazz hands at the end of a word. That's what it tells me to do with my mouth. The National Book of the Quiche, Quiche, which contains the mythology, traditions, and history of this remarkable American people, was not known by the scientific world until the past century. When two European travelers, Carl Scherzer and Abby Charles and Tenny Brassier de Bourbourg, we'll be doing less voices as I continue, published respectively the first Spanish version made in Guatemala at the beginning of the 18th century and a contemporary French translation. The two illustrious travelers visited the Central American countries almost at the same time. Oh, they weren't together. In 1854 and 1855. Isn't that the 19th century? Oh, okay, yeah. What? Am I confused here? So it says that they published respectively the first Spanish version at the beginning of the 18th century and a contemporary French translation. They hang out together. I'm really confused. They both came at 1854 and 1855, around the same time. Not together. But they published their books at the beginning of the 18th century. Am I wrong? Isn't the 18th century is like the 1700s? But then it says that they traveled in 1854 and 55. Whatever. Maybe a mistake? Maybe my mistake. Who knows? Kitty cat. Okay. And both interested themselves with the study of the Aboriginal races of Guatemala, which were those that had researched the highest degree of civilization in the center of the New World. Cool. In the library of the University of San Carlos in the city of Guatemala, Scherzer found the manuscript which contains the transcription of the Quiche text in the first Spanish version of the Popol made by in the first Spanish version. I thought that okay, whatever. The first Spanish version of the Popol made by Father Francisco Jimenez of the Dominican Order. The first Spanish version of the Quiche document was published by Scherzer in Vienna in 1857. Oh my God. So they both published the first, the first Spanish version, which had already existed because Father Francisco Jimenez had translated it from the Latin that was translated in the 16th century. Okay. Jeez Louise, that was stupid. I'm dumb. I'm the dumb one here. The first Spanish version of the Quiche document was published by Scherzer in Vienna in 1857. The Abbé Brasseur de Bourbourg carried... Oh, Abbey's like a title? The Abbé Brasseur de Bourbourg carried his interest in the Indian cultures of Guatemala much further. Quit breaking, book! Having lived for some time in the country, he was in contact with the Indians, learned the Quiche and Cachugal tongues. C-A-K Cachiquel. C-A-K-C-H-I-Q-U-E-L. Cachiquel tongues. And upon his return to Europe, he published in Paris in 1861 a handsome volume entitled Popol, les livres sacrés et les mythes de l'Antiquité américaine, avec les vers héroïques, I don't know, et historiques de Quiches, which contains the original Quiche text, a translation into French. So, what language did the Aztecans speak? We'll find out, maybe, probably not. A translation into French, an extensive introduction, and rather full notes. The publication of this work at once attracted the attention of the public to the native people of Central America, whose existence and cultural achievements were at the same time completely unknown to the Europe and the United States. Unknown in Europe, whose cultural achievements were unknown in Europe and the United States. Wow. In 1861, didn't know what the Aztecans were up to. Since then, the book has been used by historians and ethnologists in their investigations of the native races and civilizations of America. I guess to use as a lens with which to see how other cultures might have thought. I mean, I don't know how you would measure things with another. I mean, I don't know. Let's continue. Brasseur de Bourbourg collected a number of old manuscripts in Guatemala, which he stole with him, to Europe and used in his writings on the history and Indian languages of Central America. Among them was the volume which contains the arte, or grammar of the three principal languages of Guatemala, the Cachiquel, the Quiche, and the Zutuhal, Zutuhil, written in the 18th century by the same Father Francisco Jimenez, who was parish priest of Santo Tomas Chuala, the present Chichicastenango. The same manuscript, which includes also the transcription and translation of the Popol Vuh, composed of 112 folios written in 2 columns. Oh, there's a lot of tiny little baby words. Oh, that's just the things. That's just the footnotes. Written in 2 columns, which has the title Empiezan las historias del origen de los indios de esta provincia de Guatemala. This volume, in the handwriting of Father Jimenez, was acquired in Europe by Edward E. Ayer, and today forms part of the valuable linguistic collection which bears his name and is preserved in the Newberry Library of Chicago. The catalog of the Ayer collection, however, did not list the manuscript of the Historias del Origen de los Indios. Who wrote that one? Oh, it's a whole different book. Which, as has been said, is bound together with that of the Arte de las Tres Lenguas. Cool. Which is the full name of the thing that contains the grammar of the 3 principal languages of Guatemala, Cachiquel, Quiche, and Zutuhil, by Father Jimenez. So, for this reason, it was a very pleasant surprise to me, Adrian the Recinos from Guatemala, to find it at the end of that volume. When I visited the Newberry Library for the first time in 1941, Ramon, how old are you? Ooh, this is an older book. I wish to express here my gratitude to Mary Lapham Butler, in charge of the Edward E. Ayer collection, for the faculties which she made available to me to complete my research in the center of that study. Thanks, Mary. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln almost went to the Donner Party? For real. He was like, gonna go. Just a side note. But remember, just so you don't forget, here's Abraham Lincoln's hat with a bite taken out of it. That could have been our history. That! Comparing the original text transcribed by Jimenez with the text published by Brasseur de Bourbourg, I noticed some differences, important omissions, and other changes which affect the interpretation of the Quiche document. Damn! Furthermore, the possibility of clarifying and correcting passages in the existing translations stimulated my desire to undertake a new version direct from the original Quiche to Spanish. Adrian, I fucking love you. Thus, by making use of the work of my predecessors in this field, I would somewhat advance knowledge of the document that Bancroft had called the most valuable heritage which we have received from Aboriginal American thought. Oh man, I wonder how old Adrian was. When did you write this, guy? You little cutie? What did you do? Doesn't say. When the Spanish version was published in Mexico in 1947, 3 years before this specific version was published, in 1950, my distinguished friend Sylvanus Griswold Morley, recognized as the highest authority in the Maya civilization, became interested in having an English translation made of this old book of the Quiche. It seems strange, indeed, that while this historical and mythological masterpiece is known in several Spanish, French, and German translations, there is no complete version in English for the use of readers and students of the English-speaking world. Mr. Morley's enthusiasm found generous response in the Rockefeller Foundation. Who's Rockefeller? Is he the painter? Why do people hate him? I don't understand it. Rockefeller Foundation, always disposed to lend its support to intellectual pursuits, and with its valuable assistance to the present English translation, has been carried to a happy conclusion. Good. So he's happy with what we're reading. He or she. Adrian Recinos. In both the Spanish and English version of the Popol Vuh, I have tried to keep to the original text and adjust myself strictly to the peculiarities of the Quiche language, which is simple and synthetical. Which simple and synthetical. I mean, I'm thinking synthetical means easy to translate, or mind concepts that are easy to translate. Plain stuff. You want to look it up? This one goes out to all my fans. It's helpful to have none. Synthetic. Oh. Strangle, strangle, subject. Sunlight. Syllabub. Well, let's read syllabub. Syllabub is a drink of milk or cream sweetened and mixed with wine or cider. Syllabub. What were we looking up? Synthetical. I don't know. Synergism? Cool. Synergism is the interaction of elements that, when combined, produces a total effect that is greater than the sum of the individual elements. Cool. I didn't even know you could do that. Synopsis. Oh, what are we looking at? I can't remember. Synthetic. All right. Also, synthetical, of or pertaining to a non-contradictory proposition in which the predicate is not included in or entailed by the subject. Okay. 6, noting a gem mineral manufactured so as to be physically, chemically, and optically identical with a mineral found in nature. So it's to synthesize, but to be the same, but not lose anything. I don't know. Whatever. Synthetical, and yet does not lack elegance of expression. The Quiche language, which is simple, synthetical, and yet does not lack elegance of expression. It would have been easy to give the narrative of a literary form more pleasing to the modern reader. We don't want pleasing. Not here. Not on Prelude to Ulysses. We want it hard. Difficult. I wish I had a thesaurus. But super hard. Not easy. More pleasing to the modern reader. But this could have been done only by sacrificing the fidelity, which must be the translator's guide in a work of this kind. Totally agree. You're a fucking saint, Adrian. But this could have been done only by sacrifice. Okay, yeah. Work of this kind. In general, I have tried to preserve the original construction, its passive forms, and its frequent repetitions. Ugh. In doing so, I have found very helpful the grammars and vocabularies of the Quiche and Cachico languages, compiled by the Spanish missionaries. Oh, what's that? Which may be consulted in various libraries of Europe and the United States. The words of the original manuscript appear in footnotes when they have been omitted or altered. The words of the original manuscript appear footnotes when they have been omitted or altered in the transcript. By Brasseur de Bourbourg. The spelling is that of the original text. Okay. Father Francisco de la Parra, in the middle of the 16th century, invented 4 characters to represent certain sounds peculiar to the Indian languages of Guatemala. Cool. These phonetic signs sometimes appear in the Jimenez manuscript. Cool. But they are not reproduced here because it is not considered necessary. In their place, the generally accepted equivalent sound is given. The sound of V is the same as that of U, as was the custom in Spanish colonial times. V equals U. The H has the same sound as in English. The initial X, which occurs in certain quiche words and proper names, is the sign of the feminine and diminutive and is pronounced like sh. For example, shblanke and shmukene are pronounced shmabalke and shmukene, respectively. Well, it was already there. That's cool. Should write that one down, probably. Let's do this one right. It's just a matter of time before. There's nothing in there. Quiche. So V equals U. I don't need to write that the H is the same. And X equals sh. Cool. That's fun. The original manuscript is not divided into parts or chapters. The text runs without interruption from the beginning until the end. In this translation, I have followed the Brasseur de Bourbourg division into 4 parts, and each part into chapters. Good, thank you. The text runs, because the arrangement seems logical and conforms to the meaning and subject matter of the work. Since the version of the French Abbé is best known, this will facilitate the work of those readers who may wish to make a comparative study of the various translations of the Popol Vuh. The etymology of the proper names is a difficult matter and lends itself to dangerous conjectures and deceptive suppositions. Proper names as in places or people? What does proper names mean? Whatever. For this reason, I have accepted only those which seem natural, without entering into an analysis of the components of the ancient names. A work which seldom gives results. In various places, however, I have pointed out the relation of those names to others of the Maya tongue. Okay. To which the quiche has a close resemblance. Okay. And sometimes with the Natugl, Nahuat, Nahuatl, Nahuatl, tongue of Mexico, which has greatly influenced the languages of Central America. Okay. I have also proceeded with caution in the use of geographical names. Some of the places mentioned in the text still retain their old names, but many others are known by the Mexican or Spanish names, which were given to them after the conquest. Conquest. I don't want to go into some rabbit hole here, but the conquest for the Planet of the Apes was the worst one. It's also the last one. Maybe not the worst one. It wasn't very good, though, was it? Let's continue. The modern names of the ancient places, which it has been possible to identify, may be found in the notes. Cool. The map of the Maya Quiche region. Oh, there's a map! Where is the motherfucking map? I want. Okay, that's not a good map. Oh, it's just a line. Oh, there's the map. Oh, fuck yeah. Woo! Oh, yeah. Give me that map. Perfect. Just calm down. We got this. The map of the Maya Quiche region, which has been especially prepared for the better understanding of the book, gives an idea of the wanderings of the Guatemala tribes and of their final settlement in the interior of the country. It serves also, in my opinion, to explain that the geographical and ethnical unity which exists among the people of southern Mexico and Yucatan, and the native races in which pre-Columbian times occupied the land of Guatemala. It serves to explain the geographical unity, okay, of all of these people and the native races in which pre-Columbian times, what does that mean? Occupied the land of Guatemala. I think this guy expected me to be smarter than I am. Hey, fucking Adrian, you human. You have failed. I'm reading this, not some big old big brain. And shows clearly the course of the large rivers through which, in those days, an active intertribal trade was carried on. Aguirre, Wrath of God. They weren't trading in that movie, were they? The only movies I know are of white people in the Amazon. What about Apocalypto? That was cool. It's weird that Mel Gibson put on blackface to play that role, but I don't know. It worked. Shh. Okay. So it's cool that they had some kind of trade with the rivers. Neat. I wish to express my gratitude to the Rockefeller Foundation. Paint a picture for its valuable help, as well as my appreciation of the brilliant cooperation. Where the fuck are you from, Adrian? Of my late friend Sylvanus. Love that name. G. Morley. And of the able American writer Miss Delia Goetz. Goetz. In the making of the present English version. I also wish to mention the contribution of Isaac Esquiliano. Esquiliano? I don't know. In the design for the dust jacket. Oh, I don't have a dust jacket. And last but not least, I wish to acknowledge the interest and encouragement of my University of Oklahoma Press with regard to the publication in English of the Quiche book. I think I would add thanks to the Quiche people. All right. I liked it. I think we're going to continue reading it. Ooh, how long do you think the intro is? So we did that. Ooh, there's a bunch. Oh, so there's a lot of intro before I even get into it. Good, because it doesn't seem like I know much, honestly. I'm quite excited. Let me show you this picture of the map. Boom, 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 boom. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. I've been there and I can't hear, and I went over there and here, and then I got into some trouble over here. Okay, let's put the crop duster back in here. Seems like a bad idea to start another book, but we just did it. Okay, I love you. Bye.